Coming up, we'll see Justin Jefferson. He comes in second in the NFL in touchdown receptions. It's the Vikings and the Packers, next on Madden Football.
Well, later tonight in November, snowfall is forecasted to hit the Twin Cities, but right now, calm outside, and of course, a calm day inside U.S. Bank Stadium in Minneapolis. Today, we hit double digits, week 10, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Green Bay Packers taking on the Minnesota Vikings. Hi again, everyone. Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. And Charles, you look at this Vikings ball club. They've been the talk of the NFL so far. 9 wins in their first 9 games.
And some people subscribe to the theory that a loss might not be the worst thing for them. They've had it easy all year long. How would they do handling adversity?
Meanwhile, for the visiting Packers, even with all the games we have broadcast together over the years, partner, seems like every time we see something new, and kind of get that feeling we might get something unique here in this one as well.
No two games ever really the same, are they, Brandon? Because there's always a couple little details, standout performances, big plays that set each game apart. That makes every one of them entertaining to be a part of.
Taken at the goal line. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28. 6'4" Jordan Love taking the field for the first time. The 2020 first-round pick from Utah State set to lead Green Bay.
Would you say that last week's performance by him, workmanlike in terms of numbers?
1 touchdown, 1 pick, but obviously a loss.
Yeah, and that's the bottom line for him. All he cares about is how do we find a way to win the game. Maybe leans on some few other parts of the offense, and hopefully springs a receiver or two free.
Here's Love looking to pass on the first play. And only able to get 2 here. Stopped at the 30. The numbers for him from a week ago. A boatload of carries, 113 yards and a score.
And the way they ran the ball in last week's game has to be satisfying to their entire staff, because they're seeing not just a back gain big yardage, but they're seeing an offensive line really in sync. Ball on the 30 now. Here's a 2nd and 8. Love looking to throw it. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ford. So give him 5 yards there on the pitch and catch. And now we've got a 3rd and 4. This defense for the Vikings, they were very good a week ago in that win over Minnesota. And no matter what's done throughout a ball game, it always comes back to blocking and tackling. That's the essence of football. But I think it's hard for people to understand just how difficult it is to tackle, especially open field. Very few missed tackles on tape that I saw last game. This team does a nice job of getting their opponents on the ground. He finds his man, complete. It's Ford. And he's going to have a Packers first down, although it doesn't appear to be by much. He needed 4, and he got 4 on 3rd down. Well, they kept it simple there, CD, only needing the short gain to move the chain, so they didn't want to go with a deep throw. They just go with that safer, shorter throw and able to convert. Nothing wrong with that at all, partner. Check the box, right? Make sure you pick up the first down. Offense is getting established. You're moving the ball. You're not turning it over. Check, check, check. They like what they're doing early in the game. Byron Murphy there on the tackle. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. It's a unit that has had all sorts of issues against the pass. Dead last in the NFL, number 32 in the league. And when you're getting ready to face the number 1 overall offense in the NFL, it does not matter where you rank defensively, because you got your hands full. You don't know what you're going to face, but you know that that's a strong unit that you're getting ready for. That one, a gain of 20 and a first down. Well, for teams that like to play man coverage, running corner routes can be tough on them because of the ability of getting into it. Sometimes you're squaring it off, sometimes you're just rounding it, sometimes there's a fake, sometimes there's not. It makes it very, very difficult for a DB to stay with it. From their own 40 to the other 40, the gain of 20 leads to 1st and 10. Love going to give this one to Jones. And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5. If you start assessing what went wrong last week, Charles, in their loss, had nothing to do with the ground game. They ran it well. And you also have to say to yourself as a team, don't go away from what worked. That's not the reason the game was lost. Running the football over time, when you do it consistently, usually translates into wins.
And they're hoping to do it consistently here. To throw now. Here's Love. Throw left side complete. That's Ford. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down. Well, that's not just his first, not his second, already his third completion here on the opening drive. And I think it's safe to say that getting him the ball in this game, one of their top priorities.
And a top priority for the defense has got to be finding ways to cover him. And I don't think you can have one basic coverage to get it done. You have to throw a number of coverages at him, make him think as he's running downfield, and hope you can create a little bit of havoc.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. Love. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Here's Love. Quick hitter here, it's complete. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive. They will throw again here with Jordan Love. Able to find the open man. That's complete. And the Packers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points. Well, no question, this is exactly how they wanted to start this football game. And nice pass there. Now they're set up beautifully, Charles, to finish this off with a touchdown.
Yeah, but they've still got to finish it off, partner, and that means they've got to execute at this stage of the field. So we've seen many teams march it right to the goal line and not cash in. They've got something dialed up here that puts it in the end zone.
Now Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to 2nd down. To pass, here's Jordan Love. This one swung out here to Jones. They'll get this halfway home from the 8 to the 4 on a gain of 4. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, and now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, and it's incomplete. So it's been a long drive. They've held the ball for quite a while. Now what do you do here?
Well, to me, at this stage, after this drive, this close to the goal line, 3 points would be a letdown. I'm going for it here.
And his kick is indeed good. So a long drive gets him down inside the 5, but ultimately they settle for just the field goal.
And I have to think that if maybe they were a yard closer, that would have made their decision tougher, and I think they likely would have gone for it. But in this situation, they just decided to take the 3, and I think it was a smart move.
And we'll see a return here from the end zone. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. So here come the Vikings as they get set for their first drive. And they will be led out by their 2nd-year quarterback.
And the guys on the other side of the ball know they'll have to be on their toes. And it's obviously not just the passing, but the running element that makes him dangerous. He ran for over 100 yards in that game last week, so keeping him contained will be a big emphasis for this defense.
18 Cardinal. Ready?
They'll come out throwing here on 1st down. Oh, he's going to air it out right away. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on 1st down, but he couldn't reel it in. All right, Charles, we've spoken about this offense plenty, how great they've been all year. 9-0 now, into the back half of the season. Super Bowl favorites, without a doubt. I think everyone agrees on that. What do you think is the thing that most stands between them and a perfect season?
I think it's themselves. I think it's their team, how they approach things, how they conduct themselves during the week, practicing, getting ready, and then going out and playing. You can't take your foot off the gas pedal on this stage. Doesn't matter if it's a weak team you're playing or not. Look, when I talk to one of the best golfers of all time, he told me he never played against the field. He just played against himself and his own standard.
So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now back to throw. And the Packers give him nowhere to go, and they bring him down. Poona Ford, the one to get to him and drop him. And this is a quarterback who's already had success on the ground in this first half, but this time they're able to hem him in.
And it's always different when you rush a mobile quarterback as opposed to a guy you know will be right back in the pocket. In this case, you got to make sure the inside pressure and the outside pressure match, and maybe even a second win.
Man, it's caught inside the 10. And finally down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. 36 yards on the play.
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver, and as this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Now a chance to make that big play really hurt. It's first and goal just outside the 5. From the gun, they'll try to run it. And he's able to get it down to the 2-yard line. 5 yards, a good run there, and now second and goal.
That's good hard running right there on first and goal. That gets them down to the 2. It puts a lot more pressure on that defense.
From the 2 now, second and goal.
Hey, check that. Street.
Now they'll send a tight end in motion left. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 7th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Vikings are able to answer the early 3 points and take a first-quarter lead. A strong, determined run there, Charles, to get in for 6 points.
This is why it's such a team game, isn't it? And I know that sounds really generic and it sounds almost trite, but the blocks were made up front, offensive line, collective victory at the line of scrimmage and downfield. And how about the finish to the run all the way into the end zone?
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes it a 7-3 lead. So the drive there took 6 plays, and it's culminated by a 2-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. About set to get this drive started. The Green Bay offense at the line. 3-5 is where they sit on the year. A very uneven start is certainly not an ideal position to be in at the halfway point of the season. CB, do you see an avenue where they can still be a playoff team, or is that ship sailed?
Well, since you took me to the nautical side, I'm going to try and keep up here because to me, this ship is about ready to pull out of port. These next couple of games are absolute must-wins for them. Now, if they can win a couple, get to 5-5, maybe they start believing in themselves. But a loss here, that would move them to 3-6. And if that's the case, well, that boat is going to head out to the harbor with them still on the dock.
Another throw on second down, and this one incomplete as well. Looking for Christian Watson that time, and it'll bring up third down. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. They're in the spot statistically that you don't want to be in against the pass. Number 32 in the league, dead last.
That was a nice play right there, but overall this season, it's been an absolute disaster. A total lack of communication on the back end. They need a leader who can put this team, this unit, on his shoulder pads and carry them to the right spots. That's well done defensively. They get the pressure they needed on third down. All the receivers are locked up tight, and they force that quarterback to just throw it away.
Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. Taken from just outside the 30. After one, 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Second quarter now from Minnesota. It's the Vikings in possession of the football as they get set to start their drive with a 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. They are, for the moment, the best team in football, 9-0 entering play here. And, Charles, I don't know if we'd call them a surprise 9-0, but the way that they have been winning definitely opened up a lot of eyes around the NFL.
Well, what we've seen from them so far this season, you can't stop them on offense, you can't score on them on defense. So to me, if you're going to play against them, you have to bring your best game and hope they throw a clunker in that day to give yourself a chance.
Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. 4 yards the gain, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
Okay, ready?
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Excellent play there on 3rd down. Give him 25 yards.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. As long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
So into Packer territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 27. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Devontae Wyatt there for the stop. Defensively, though, they had a chance there to hit him for a loss. Couldn't get it done.
Looked like someone was able to knife into the backfield, but he wasn't able to get him down. But his compatriots, they were able to grab him at the line of scrimmage and not let him get any further downfield.
The throw over the middle, taken in. 5 yards. Now it's 3rd and 5. They'll need 5 on this play to move the sticks. On play action, they'll throw. Eluding the pressure right. That is caught, and he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another 1st down.
I think he has to be saying to himself, how did that not wind up a touchdown? Remember, he just did the tip of the ball across the plane. It's not going to get there, but they're going to be set up in great shape with 1st and goal.
They'll send one of those 2 tight ends in motion. They'll try to run this one in. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. With his 13th touchdown of the year and 2nd of the game. And the Vikings are able to widen their advantage. So his strong first half continues as he finds the end zone here for the 2nd time.
And definitely good blocking at the point of attack, and you just have to love watching the way he can create space down near the goal line, and he's able to take it into the end zone.
Extra point right down the middle, and that pushes the lead up to 11. So that drives 7 plays in length, and it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings move it away. From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And the decision to come out of the end zone is going to cost him 5 yards as he's taken down right at the 20. And Green Bay getting ready to go as they take the field. Their deficit is 11, 14-3, and needing to get something going here as they come up on 1st and 10.
Opposite, 3,
They'll start the drive with a carry by Jones. And he'll be marked down at the 26 with a gain of 7.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
Love's throw brought in by Watson. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Well, this hasn't really been a first half to remember on either side of the ball, but I think this kind of makes this an important drive. You'd love to get this back to a one-score game if you can, and that's good work there to get some yardage here and pick up the first down.
Yeah, maybe they were coming with a blitz that time and it caused a jump.
I think if we saw it, you know that they saw it. Might have been a little discussion down there. Bad guys coming, pick them up, and someone jumped.
52.
Throwing. Love. And that is going to be incomplete as he led him a bit too much.
I think put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender, but you also have to give your own guy a chance too.
Close check. Check right.
On second down, it's Jones. And great blocking downfield as he's got this almost to the 35-yard line. Give him 18 on that play, and Green Bay has the first as well. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And they'll keep on the ground with Jones. And this time they were waiting for him as he'll be knocked down before he can get back to the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Part of the thinking when you bring in extra tight ends, you're hoping that each of your guys gets those one-on-one blocks and creates a crease for your runner. You know what the converse is, though? You've got to win those one-on-one blocks, and when you don't, that's the result you end up with.
A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. Again, it's Jones fighting him off. Through the middle of the field. Touchdown, Packers. Aaron Jones, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Packers are back within a score.
You get in a 2nd and long situation down here in the red zone, I'd say most defensive coaches would think pass, let's bring some pressure. So this is kind of a tendency breaker here to hit him with something on the ground, and he'll take it all the way into the end zone.
Point after try forthcoming. And he's got it. That cuts the lead. It's now 14 to 10. That time a 6-play drive. And the last play in the drive was a touchdown run by Aaron Jones. The lead cut to just 4 as they kick it away and turn things over to their D. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. Minnesota's offense takes over possession. And they, if you just look at this game, Charles, on paper, they've got the edge, no doubt. They're hanging around the top of the NFC. On the other side, you got a squad that's towards the bottom of the NFC. But when we mentioned that to the coaches, they were having no part of it.
Yeah, and I like how you said when we mentioned it. In fact, I mentioned it, and I upset them a little bit, didn't I? Because they wanted no part of that one, and I was reminded, like a 5-year-old, this is the NFL. Any given Sunday, anything can happen. They're guarding against the upset.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Now a 2nd and 10.
Right there, hurt.
Here's a handoff out of the gun. Limited running room as he'll get about 3 to the 21.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in the expected passing situation.
It got his man complete. Now he's loose down the left sideline. Touchdown. Justin Jefferson, 79 yards. And they are able to add on to their advantage. Boy, Charles, his offense is just so explosive. They lead the league in scoring,
state about how explosive teams are. This team is truly a threat to score on every snap, especially on the first few plays of any series. And a big streak like that only adds to their reputation as the league's best offense.
Extra point attempt to follow here. It's good, and it's 21-10. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it was all capped off by Justin Jefferson's touchdown reception. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings move it away. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And they will wrangle him down a couple yards shy of the 30. Green Bay returning on offense, led by running back Aaron Jones. They'll be looking to get in the end zone again, and the touchdown, as you see, last drive on 4 carries. And during the break, we were looking at some of the replays from the previous drive. Really good holes created, great space.
Yeah, I like the observation you had, though, during that break about, okay, they've got to do something to slow down their runners. So is it bringing in more defensive linemen? Is it dropping in extra linebackers? What are you going to do? Personally, I'm going to take my safety and drop him into the box. I'm going to have at least 7 in there until he shows that he can beat me through the air.
Yeah.
I've got to slow down the running game.
I was just going to say, you'll take the exposure in the passing game over the top until you can prove that you can stop the running game.
Sometimes you go cold because you haven't thrown it in a while. Let's see if he can heat up again.
Second catch for him today, and it'll wind up a first down.
Good strong throw and catch right there. And so far in this game, the alleys have been open for them to get completions, and they're taking advantage of it.
Ready, set. Ready.
First down, love to pass. Got a man, and he hits him in stride. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8. 2nd and 2.
8 yards on the pickup. Brings up 2nd and 2. At the Vikings 49-yard line.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Now a 2nd and 2. Love now. That's out to the flat for Gibson. They'll get to the line here, but remember, it's also 3rd down. Now Love. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Coverage thoughtful team there on 3rd down. They actually closed off all the passing lanes, forcing the incompletion and bringing up 4th down.
4th down, and out comes Jordan Stout here to punt. And they won't risk defending a return here. That one's out of bounds, and it'll be spotted. It's spotted at the 14-yard line. Getting set to go again as we look at the back, heading onto the field again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
The defender certainly didn't forget about him leaking out of the backfield. There was a guy ready and waiting to pick him up in coverage, and that throw had no shot.
It's showtime, baby.
2nd and 10. The play action fake. They'll look to throw. Packer pressure, and down he goes. The Packers going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. They'll try and set up the screen. It's complete. He's got this almost to the 40 before going out. A big play there as they get the conversion on 3rd and 13.
That was a beautifully executed screen pass.
let the rushers get upfield. The blocking forms in front, lofted it to the runner, and now not only does he have open space in front of him, he's got an escort as well, and they pick up big yardage.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Back to throw. The throw out wide going to be incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is, because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
And he's across the 40, 3 extra yards to the 43.
That's a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on him before he could get much out of it.
Third down and 6. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He had him. He was open, but he couldn't get it to him. It's incomplete.
That might be the third down stop that they needed, because they've had a lot of trouble slowing down this offense in the first half. This might be their opportunity to get off the field.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. The Packers with a football here late in this first half. Well, not much time remains here in this first half. We'll see if they can get something out of this drive, at least a field goal. They could certainly use it down by 2 scores. On 1st and 10, Love. Throwing quickly there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got 2nd and 3rd down to fall back on.
Now a 2nd down throw for Love here. Quick slant to Watson. 9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Now the Packers going to go ahead and use the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 34 seconds to go before halftime. A yard all they need, but it's 3rd down. Play fake. Here's Love. This is going to be incomplete.
Some applause for the defense there. They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
Now is a punter, Jordan Stout. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. Fielded at the 20. So a good punt there, but a nice return of 11 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. We're in the 2nd quarter. They've got the lead. The lead, though, not so much because of the ground game, because of their air attack, Charles.
So what they're seeing so far is the possibility of things loosening up later in the ground game. Through the air first, maybe they have to start respecting that even more as the game goes on, and then there will be running lanes to find later.
Yeah, try to get him more involved here on this drive, maybe. A really nice effort that time. 12 yards on the keeper, picking up the 1st. He'll look to throw. He lets one go deep for Addison. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
And with apologies to Dylan Thomas, apparently they're not going to go gently into the half. They're still out there firing haymakers. They took a chance on a deep ball there, but it winds up incomplete.
Here's 2nd and 10.
18, Rattler, 18. Let's go, let's go.
They'll set up a throw. And he comes back with one complete. And we're going to get a timeout with 2 seconds remaining in the 2nd quarter. So with 2 ticks left here in the half, on is the field goal unit. They spot it on the midfield stripe, so it is a 60-yard attempt here. And this one is right down the middle, and that will do it for this first half. So we have come to halftime in what's already a 2-touchdown game. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you very much. More from you two in a minute, but first, let's take a spin around the NFL and see what's going on here in week number 10. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, and they are seconds away from halftime, all tied in that one. From there, let's head to Philly to see what's happening with the Eagles. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Chiefs. Devontae Smith with a touchdown reception from Jalen Hurts. Lastly, let's head to Paycor Stadium in Cincinnati to see what's happening with the Bengals. As you can see the score there in the second quarter. Kenny Pickett with a couple of touchdown tosses. Adjustments being made in the locker rooms. We're just about ready for the second half from Minneapolis. And for the call, let's rejoin Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you very much. As we welcome you back for quarter number 3. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. So here are the Vikings to take over. They are working on that very impressive 9-game win streak, looking to get it to 10 as they've got the lead here, 1st and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Finds his man, there's Jordy Madison. And he's taken down, but able to slip across the 35. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a first down.
That's another beautiful throw right there. Gets it to his man right in stride. And I think that throw kind of exemplifies what we've seen from this offense throughout this game. They've been in rhythm. They've been sharp. They've been on it. And they pick up another first down there.
This is caught at the 20. A big play there for Minnesota. 51 yards.
Another big play right there. And this is where, as an offense, you can really put the hammer down. You've got a double-digit lead, but those other guys, they've been hanging around. A touchdown here could put this game out of reach, and that's a strong step towards getting it done.
A real field flipper there as all of a sudden they've got a first down in the red zone. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play. It'll be second down. Those are the plays this defense needs with the deficit they're facing.
It certainly is, and they've got to continue to swarm the football and hope that someone, while they're holding up the ball carrier, can get in there and rake it and lock it free. They need to get some takeaways as well.
On second down, here's the option. And holding it may be the wrong decision as he stopped in the backfield. That'll wind up as a loss on the play, so now they're staring at a 3rd down and 12.
Well, he's had success running the football in this one. Yeah, that's undeniable, but that time the defense was onto it.
And, partner, I think the more you see a play like this, the more they're able to diagnose it quicker and easier for them to defend it. I think you have to dress it up a little bit and show maybe some different formations and looks.
Flush to his right. And it's caught in the end zone for the Viking touchdown by Justin Jefferson. A great play there with his second touchdown of the afternoon. And the Vikings take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead.
for the extra point. And he's been a busy man, 5 for 5 now as he knocks another one through to extend the lead. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. So here are the Packers now. They get set for their first possession of half number 2. And their halftime hole now even deeper. They need a big drive here just to answer the first touchdown of the second half scored against them.
They were down at the half. Now, as you mentioned, they're down a little bit bigger, but no time for discouragement. Just got to get back to it, right? Put your shoulder against the boulder and start pushing and try and get back to where you were to start the half.
78 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Smith red. Check pink.
They'll go again to Jones. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
Yellow.
Love looking to throw it. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Maybe a little frustration starting to creep in. The offensive line has done a great job of protecting him in this game, and there he was, hit again as he threw it.
Yeah, another time on his backside, probably starting to get a little frustrated.
Got to keep his composure. Can't let the defense know that they're getting to him.
Escaping the pressure right. The decision to tuck and run gets him 3, but that's not enough. Now it's 4th.
And partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
And he couldn't get it to check up. That kicks all the way into the end zone for a touchback. The Vikings offense now heading out to take over. They're just looking to do more of the same. They were good in the first half. They've extended their lead so far here in the second half. I don't know, they're just looking good on hitting on all cylinders right now.
And sometimes that means a head coach who really has a finger on the pulse of a team may not have anything to say at all. May tell the rest of the coaches
a little bit.
Just back it off a little bit. This team has it under control. I remember hearing about Bob Knight years ago in basketball, getting ready to give the final speech before the gold medal game in '84. And on the board, Michael Jordan had written, "Coach, after all we've been through, there's no way we're losing tonight." He didn't even give a pregame speech.
Wow, interesting. Well, right now, no speech is needed. The quarterback run, good for 10 that time, but it does lead to a 3rd down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But when you call it at the right time and you use it properly, you see the type of gains you can get. A nice chunk of yardage there by the quarterback.
He'll wind up getting 2 there as he does it himself and picks up the 1st. Inside 4 minutes to go, 3rd quarter. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Middle of the field to Jefferson. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. That'll go as a pickup of 32 on the catch and run.
Already over 1,000 yards receiving this season. That catch is just going to add to his total. Certainly not resting on his laurels. He's trying to continue to gain as many yards as possible and continue this big season.
So how about about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
He's going to use his legs here.
And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, he had success earlier in the drive keeping it himself. Not here, though.
And sometimes when you have that kind of success, you can fall in love with the option a little bit too much and not give the defense credit for making adjustments themselves. And that play starts to lose its effectiveness.
Hands it off out of the gun.
And he'll take this one down to the 36. After getting stuffed on 1st down, not much better there. 2-yard gain.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right, he's pretty much been completely neutralized. So 3rd down, they need to get to the 28 for a first. They'll set up to throw. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And this one looks good. It is good. Right down the pipe.
So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there.
And now the Packers get set to go.
I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They'll start out on the ground with Jones.
And this will be a Packers first down as he's got this past the 35 to about the 37.
He continues to be effective running the football, a big reason that they have the lead.
And I love one of the quotes that I read about him where he said of himself, "I love it when a team just hops on my back and I just carry them along."
Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down.
Finally hauled down for the first time this game. Multiple defenders in there to drop him.
And that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack. And that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
Out of the pistol to give to Jones. And he's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4.
On any running play that's called, they're always hoping that it's going to break big and go the distance. But when you get a nice gain like that, you're able to do so many things anyway. You can come back and run essentially the same play again, continue to move the ball on the ground, or you can decide to throw the ball now because usually you have the defense back on its heels.
And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. 3 quarters in the books. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. And we return, welcoming you back to Minneapolis. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter, let's see how this plays out. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive.
All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Andrew Booth picks it off. And the Vikings are going to take possession here at their own 33. When you think about it, though, that interception, great for his stats, but bad for field position. It was 4th down.
Yeah, terrific observation. If there is going to be a silver lining, and this is what he'll plead when it comes time to watch it again, hey, it was just like a punt, right? So we end up taking possession of the ball. But you're exactly right about it. Should have slapped it down. Field position would be better for his offense. But how many times do you get a chance to make an interception that you turn it down? That's when your instinct kicks in and you take the football. In this case, a better decision would have been to knock the ball down.
He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Considering they've seen him have some big gains against him throughout this game, that's got to feel like a measure of revenge as they trap him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss.
A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. He's going to keep this again. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. He'll get 2 on the keeper, but it becomes now a 3rd down.
Anytime you decide to use your quarterback as a runner, most of the time when you design a play, you're expected to break a little bit bigger than this one, because when you run him on short gains, your risk-reward and him taking hits, I'm not sure that's the payoff they were looking for.
Flushed out right. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
Well, many times when you talk about mobile quarterbacks, you get the sense that they feel like they can get out of any bad situation. They keep moving around and trying to emulate guys like the scrambler or the dodger. Instead, they keep losing yardage and digging themselves a hole that they can't get out of.
51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be Packer football here. 1st down and 10.
Green Bay's offense ready to go again. We certainly had a sense coming in here that these guys were in for a tough one on the road. That has been how this ball game has played out. They trail big as we continue on now here in this 4th quarter.
And this throw will be intercepted. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line.
But here in the 4th quarter, defensively, you know that you're just going to blanket the field with defensive backs and say, okay, take your best shot. And that time, it's intercepted.
And we've often seen teams go into the prevent early, way too early, and sometimes they get too soft in their coverages, but not in this case. They understood the situation and played it with the proper aggression.
And now out comes Minnesota.
And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead.
A little bit of space there for the 1st down run, as that's going to get him about 5 yards. Good gain there on 1st down, and keeps him in a running situation probably.
They did everything right on that play, didn't they? They got the leverage up front, good blocking, nice hole for him, ends up picking up nice yardage, stays in bounds to keep the clock rolling. They are in charge of this scenario right now. They want to stay that way.
And not in any rush offensively. They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
I think it's fairly safe to call this game over, but they're still trying to bomb it downfield and add to their lead. Almost makes you start to feel for the defense and root for them a little bit too.
The Vikings on 3rd down. 6 conversions and 9 tries. They've done a great job of picking these up. This will be 3rd and 5.
Here's the option.
And he's able to pick up the 1st down here before he goes down at the 26. Give him the 3rd down conversion. 5 yards on the play.
Well, that's the fear any defense has when the quarterback gets involved in the running game. You don't usually account for him, and he's hurting them today.
Yeah, he's been very involved in the running game. Defensively, when you've got the coverage good downfield, how do you account for him, though?
Occasionally, you start to spy him. Take someone who has the same agility, who can dance with him, run with him, and try and keep him in the pocket.
Yeah, it'll be especially critical here as we come down the stretch in the 4th.
From the 24 now, here's a 2nd and 8.
They're going to look to throw.
Throw left side, taken in by Jefferson.
It'll be a gain of 5, and now it's 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the 1st.
In motion left goes a tight end.
And they'll run the option on 3rd and short yardage.
That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. A 3-yard loss. 4th down now.
And not a lot of success to be found there.
Oh, you got that right, partner, because if you're trying to make guys miss about 10 yards or so downfield, that's a pretty good play. But if you've got to do it in your own backfield, I consider that a problem. That doesn't work too well.
Now we've got movement up front. And I think this is going to be on Minnesota. Well, this O-line's been great. They've got the big lead, so give them a pass there, I guess.
Yeah, I would think so, because if we were grading them on their performance in this game, a lot of pluses in their boxes so far.
And his kick is right there. It's good, and that will extend their lead even further.
Well, ultimately, not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
From a yard or 2 deep, here comes a return. And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one.
The Green Bay offense now about ready to take possession here.
And you see a lot of frustrated faces as they are inching closer to a 4th straight loss.
Ready.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. His throw incomplete.
Oh, I like the calmness of how he played the ball here. No panic in his eyes as that throw arrived. Tracked it from the moment it left the quarterback's hand, and that's just where he needed to be to knock it away.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Working out of the gun. Love got Dobbs over the middle.
And he's taken down. It's a gain of 3 from the 17 to the 20.
Here comes 3rd down and 7. To pass, here's Jordan Love.
And that is incomplete. Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
Desperation time here. Love on 4th down. There's the stiff arm. And they work this well upfield across the 45. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th.
Well, this game was decided a while ago, and that completion there is going to artificially inflate his passing numbers. So right now, the only one really applauding probably his agent as he thinks about angling for a new contract.
Love's throw brought in by Watson.
So the completion good for 6 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means they have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
They call his number again. It's his 6th catch and a 1st down.
I think that's a big pickup for a 1st down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a 1st down. Executed it to perfection.
Love now to pass on 1st down. Finds his receiver, Watson.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that'll bring up 2nd down.
2nd and 6 at the 35-yard line.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair.
So it's Packer football here as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score.
From the 35, here's 2nd and 6. Throwing. Love.
Caught by Jones.
And this is going to turn into another 1st down as the tackle is made at the Vikings' 22-yard line.
That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this 2nd half. Here's 1st and 10.
Ready?
Again, it's Love. He finds his man, complete. It's Ford.
That'll go for a gain of 7, and it'll be 2nd down.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
Here we go.
15-yard line.
Ready?
Now Love. Now a quick throw there, but it's going to be incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
Ready.
Love with it here, 3rd and short yardage. He's got the hook up with Dobbs. It'll be a pickup of 4, good enough to earn him yet another first down.
Here we go. Ready.
And the Packer first down.
Set.
Love now. Completes it again to Dobbs. They'll give him 4 yards there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Here we go. Here we go.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 7-yard.
Going back to Love. This one swung out here to Jones. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. So the final seconds have ticked away in this Minnesota victory. And it was their defense that really made the statement after the break. They pitched the second half shutout.
Yeah, think about the team that just got vanquished. They did score in the second quarter. Do you think they thought at all that that would be their last points of the game?
No, what a second half of the adjustment. Whatever they did in the locker room, it certainly worked.
It certainly did, and you're exactly right. Whether it was an adjustment, whether it's just more focus on what they planned to do going in, whether they just played better, whatever it was, it all came together in the second half, and no points were allowed. That's a great way to close them out.
So for the Vikings, they keep on rolling 10-0 now to start the year, and they'll get to stay home again next week. Meanwhile, for Green Bay, their season is on life support somewhat now at 3-6. And they'll be on the road next week for a matchup with the Baltimore Ravens. So for our entire crew, alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time.